Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. These late Sunday night shows are a blast because they're on Fridays. We tape them on Fridays, having some drinks. Hard AF Seltzer, hardafseltzer.com. Shout out to everybody who's been ordering it. I know it's coming in to your houses, and we appreciate all the pictures you're posting, and we're sharing all of them. Dan, I was shook last night. I'm not going to lie. I was real shook. I had a couple of these, and I went home. You know I love watching male nudity more than anything else in this life.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
Nothing makes me laugh harder
That's a better way to say
than that.
See, the way you said it first made you sound like you just enjoy
Dudes?
gay porn.
Yeah, gay
basically.
porn? No, I don't. I enjoy tastefully done dongs and or balls in my face or around the area. I think it's hilarious. Last night I got real shook though. Had a couple of these, went home last night, and I said, let's throw on that Andy Warhol doc on Netflix, the new one.
Andy Warhol liked to experiment.
Yes, did. A lot. It turns out it's a lot. They also experimented with his voice last night, which was weird. The entire voiceover is him, but it's AI. And his estate agreed to it. And it's in Netflix's credit, they put a title card at the beginning to let you know that he wasn't reading his diaries at one point.
That kind of seems like something that would be relevant with somebody who has existed in the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. But nobody knows what Andy Warhol's voice sounds like, so who gives a shit?
I do. I knew what his voice sounded like.
The vast majority of people have no idea what he sounds like. If it was like, if McConaughey died, right, and they were finishing one of his projects or something like that, and it was they were doing ADR or VO or whatever the fuck, that would make sense. But for Andy Warhol, like,
Yeah.
it just added another piece of authenticity to the... Maybe it did.
I know his voice. The interesting thing is they use AI and then an actor who could do an impression of him, and then they kind of blended that together to read out his diaries. But last night, there was some photographs that he had taken a lot of videos as well, of graphic gay sex. And there was a photo of a guy... I guess you would call him a furry. He was hairy. Is that what they call? Or a bear? Would he be a bear?
A bear, yeah, or an otter if it's a big hair. If it's the same guy but hairless, they're an otter.
Oh, okay.
I learned that from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So he was a bear, but he was fit. It kind of looked like Freddie Mercury.
That's just a daddy, isn't it?
Not sure.
If it's an older guy that's fit,
Giorgio, you're tapped into the gay world.
These terms are fluid.
Are they?
you're fucking...
So is my gender.
Mom's fluid.
Yeah. Your dad's got fluid all over him.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Shit, you gonna respond to that?
Nailed it, Bob.
You're a frat guy. You need to respond to that.
No, nothing you can do now, Bob. Yeah.
Point Ross.
Point Ross.
Can we get a chalkboard back here and keep track of whose dads have cum on them?
In one of these photographs that he had taken, it was a Freddie Mercury-looking dude with a huge cock, and he was getting a full Western grip hand job. I mean, it was a tight Western grip on this guy's cock. And I was like, whoa. And my wife looks at me and she goes, dude, you okay?
What's the opposite of Western grip? Continental?
Eastern.
No.
Yeah.
What would an Eastern grip be?
The other way.
There's the over-under.
Yeah, there's the basket weave, the two-handed basket weave. There's the underwater clown. A lot of people do the underwater clown.
You're not understanding. Like if you refer to your product as the cold version of something, and there isn't a hot version of something, then you didn't say anything. You understand that, right?
No, it's an Eastern grip, dude.
No.
It is Eastern.
Yeah.
It's because, like, in Australia, the toilets go the other way, right?
Right.
That's Southern Hemisphere, fuckface.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, whatever,
so
dude.
It's the opposite.
Yeah. East and West. Okay.
There's no such thing as Eastern medicine, by the way. It is either, or alternative medicine. It is either medicine and it works, and that's why it's medicine, or it doesn't work and it's nothing.
Well, tell that to
Tell that to
Giorgio's.
India.
Yeah, rub all the fucking olive oil
Ex-girlfriend.
and oregano on your butthole you want, but it's not going to do shit.
I don't know, man.
And if it does, then it becomes medicine and not alternative medicine.
Feeling pretty good right now.
You should be. You should be.
You're feeling pretty good because you're fucking deluded. That's why. right? Like if you can,
My eyeballs are.
if you can force yourself into believing that, or like in schizophrenia and paranoia and shit like that, the opposite of that can also be true. You can be overly happy. As a matter of fact,
Oh, no, I mean, I'm dilated.
you like your asshole. Your asshole's dilated.
All of me.
Okay. What would you say? A quarter size? It's usually a penny. Yeah. You say $50, huh?
Yeah.
You can kind of hear it quivering a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Did you say you can hear it quivering?
yeah,
The air freely goes in.
Now,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
what's a
That
what's a
beehole.
what's a quivering asshole sound like exactly? Like a cave on a really quiet day with a little wind.
Yeah.
All you at home, send in your impressions of a quivering asshole.
Quivering asshole. Oh. But then there was a movie he shot called Just the Blowjob, and it was a dude getting his dick sucked, and you could only see him from here, and it was about an 18-minute video. I'm surprised the guy lasted that long.
Was it? You couldn't tell who was sucking his dick though.
No.
Probably a man.
Yes.
Can somebody, Giorgio? Again, we're turning to you for this because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, and you're also kind of like
You
I
might
f-
be-
I feel like you might be gay one day.
You might. Well, you might be a gigolo. Your name almost rhymes with it. And you are.
One day you might come out.
It's not gay if you're getting paid.
Well, gay for pay. So that's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
gay for pay.
A high-end female prostitute versus high-end male prostitute. What's more expensive? What do you think about that? I actually have no idea.
I think high female. I think in the upper range, like male has a good selection, but like the really creme de la creme is still the female.
So
Take like a hot meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume, and correct me if my logic is wrong here, I would assume that a high-class female prostitute has gotten into it because she is aware of her value and is exploiting that value, and a male prostitute has arrived at that through either desperation or bad decisions.
Yes.
Most likely, yes.
no
Which
male-
means his market value is just intrinsically lower.
But he can be a power donkey and fail his way
A
upward.
what?
What's a power donkey exactly?
Someone who goes ass backwards up the corporate ladder.
All right.
So failing upwards?
Yeah,
Is that,
failing
is,
upwards.
that, is that an Urban Dictionary? Because we've been saying power donkey for a long time. He just randomly said that to somebody like 4 years ago. and
Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah, okay, so here's the Urban Dictionary definition is someone who has failed their way to the top and is incapable of recognizing their failure as such.
So Joe Biden.
Yeah, we just described
George,
Joe Biden.
George W. Bush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most presidents.
Most congressmen.
Yeah.
Because it's usually in your family and all that other shit. Yeah, but Warhol was doing, I mean, it was just super, super gay and graphic. And I was not prepared for it. I didn't shy away. I finished it, obviously. But I was definitely unprepared for what I was
Still a
about to
devout
see last
Catholic
night.
to the end, even though gay.
Warhol?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from Pittsburgh, like this shithole small town in Pittsburgh. It was strange to see because they went back to his hometown now, and you were like, "Oh shit, you were from like the fucking streets." And it's strange that that's where he was from. I didn't picture that at all.
I'm from the streets, bitch.
Honestly, makes sense.
Do you think Andy Warhol ever said, did he look at John Michel Basquiat and at any point and say, I'm from the streets, bitch? Because Basquiat was actually from the streets.
Right, right. And then he took all his paintings and made money off them for
Hey, whoa,
whoa,
that's
whoa,
only
whoa,
because
whoa.
Basquiat fucking killed himself with heroin.
I was going to say, he's the original aggregator, so he probably just takes other people's sayings and makes it his own.
So here's what happened, Giorgio. In this doc, it turns out they were beef fries.
They were lovers.
Yeah. It alluded to that. It didn't. The guy, they wouldn't go the final step and say they were butt fucking.
I did.
What did Warhol die from? He probably had AIDS, right?
No, so this was crazy. There was an assassination attempt, and he got shot a bunch of times. He was legally dead, and then they brought him back to life, and he had these crazy scars all over his body. And then I don't know, I haven't watched the last part of it, so I don't really know how he died.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming it was natural causes because...
AIDS is a natural cause, though.
Is it?
all death is natural.
Well...
Really? Can I do my impression of Andy Warhol getting shot 12 times?
Please.
Ow.
Bob knows the voice, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, did he... Who the fuck would try to assassinate Andy Warhol? Probably some dude he paid to suck
no, it was
some
a
other dude's
chick,
dick.
dude. It was a fucking chick.
So it was the wife of some dude she paid to suck some other dude's dick.
Maybe,
probably.
dude. Maybe. Who knows? But I remember Bob Dylan being in there one time, and it was because there is a film, if you want to call it that. It was like a short film with Bob Dylan, and I think at one point he goes, man, this is a little too fucking gay for me. I gotta go. And bounced or like punched him in the face
Well,
or something.
they always had cameras rolling, so everything
Yes.
was a film. So when I went to a couple of his different exhibits when they were touring the country, and yeah, it's just like a dude left a camcorder on. It's exactly like what Jack does sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah. It's weird.
It was wild because it reminded me of all the NFTs and all that shit. Like, basically what he was doing was just setting up the NFT world for everybody with, like, repurposing shit and everything else. It wasn't as if he was this brilliant genius. He was just really good at being ahead of the time, just a little bit.
One of my favorite pieces from him was this camouflaged version of the Sistine Chapel. Mm-hmm. Not Sistine Chapel, but the Last Supper. Where it was to show like his closeted gayness, but also his Catholic roots in a way.
Yeah,
like hiding in plain sight.
They actually showed that last night. You really fucking know Andy Warhol, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was an art history major for a little bit.
Were you really?
He's a big fan of Campbell's soup.
Yeah,
I am actually.
yeah.
Campbell's?
He loves it.
Not Progresso, you fucking Philistine.
I'm with you.
Me?
I'm with you on this, Georgios Campbell's till I die.
Only if
Campbell's
it's
and
chunky.
Camels.
Only if it's chunky.
Only if it's chunky,
And
dude.
Mrs. McNabb is slinging it.
Yeah,
I
goddamn
I
right.
don't like that either. I like if I'm going anything chunky, I'm just gonna go get a Marie Callender's pot pie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Fucking, you guys are pieces
Maybe.
of shit. We need to start having debates about this stuff.
I think so. Look,
Just
I'm
to lay
on
it all out, you know
so
what I mean?
with a pot pie, too long. Campbell's chunky soup, I can pop that bitch in the microwave and I'm good to go.
Yeah, the Marie Callender's pot pie, you basically, as the individual ones, you just take it out of the packaging and put tin foil around the edge.
Yep.
Or aluminum foil. I guess it's not tin foil. That's something that old people say, right? It's aluminum. They don't make tin.
I still call it tinfoil.
Yeah, I
know,
call it
but
tinfoil.
I think that's a Southern thing, though, because they haven't used tin for that in like 30 years, longer than you've been alive, probably. I don't think it's been.
Look, I eat
10.
Duke's mayonnaise. I use tinfoil.
Tinfoil, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Anyways, you have to put that around the crust so it doesn't get burned too badly, and you take it off at the end and you cook it for 50 minutes. So that's a bit much.
too long, yeah.
But I mean, if you're coming home from a day's work and you're a piece of shit that doesn't have anybody that cares about you, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was for a good long while.
Sure.
Pop one of those in, take a shower, do whatever I got to do, pound off a couple times, and then I'm fucking.
There you
stuff
go.
them.
You got yourself a good woman who knows what time you're coming home. 15 minutes before you get there, pops one in, throws a couple Bud Lights in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Is it weird I like a Hot Pocket crispy?
No, I do too.
No,
I
of
like
course
it
you
well
don't want.
done.
What do you mean?
No, you
Weird.
should honestly the best way to cook them is to deep fry them.
No, you
Yeah.
throw it in the air fryer.
Air fryer, yeah.
Really?
way.
Yeah, do it. You put everything in the air fryer now.
Man,
Yeah, I put-
everybody's trying to fucking get me to get one of those.
I put the
things.
dogs in the air fryer. They're
great.
Wait, no, I mean I didn't eat them, but they were acting a lot better than they did. before.
Yeah.
So check this. You know the little package that they used to cook the Hot Pocket in? Mm-hmm. Gone. No longer a thing.
Oh, what do you use now?
Shut up.
No, they just give you a Hot Pocket in a plastic satchel.
Oh, I don't like that
That's how
at
you
all.
take it out and just put it in the...
Who? I wonder. We need.
I don't like that at all.
Cutting cost.
Have you put one in a microwave lately? And was it still smoking hot on the outside and freezing cold through the middle?
No.
Are you sure?
So they've.
I'm not in
No,
this.
you haven't done that, or no,
Biden.
that wasn't how it turned out.
That wasn't how it turned out. It was not as fully cooked, but it wasn't as one is super hot, like on the edge when it pushes out the side and then the inside's freezing. The bread is thicker. It's
All
a
right.
lot thicker
Nick,
now.
get us Hot Pockets for Monday.
I don't think I've eaten anything out of the microwave in years.
Yeah,
Well,
I haven't
we'll do
either.
We
it
should
tomorrow.
do an entire Monday episode.
Just
of-
reheated stuff, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I reheat in the oven or the air fryer.
Well, you're
yeah.
a better person than us.
Sous vide is a good way to reheat too, but it's just like clunky because if
You just want to sous vide everything.
well, it's because it's easy. But if you put if you have some of the reusable vacuum sealed bags, or not vacuum sealed bags, but reusable bags, it's easy to reheat shit. So without overcooking it, that's nice.
Yeah.
So Andy Warhol doc, that's fun.
It is. I find out how he died, Bob. Do you know how he actually died?
Cardiac arrhythmia.
You can just say heart attack. You don't have to be all fucking goddamn fancy.
Cardiac arrhythmia.
Yeah.
But he was all he got shot in 1968. So he was fucked up.
Oh,
for,
he
like-
didn't die from that.
No.
That's fucking 20 years.
And
Yeah.
so the woman who killed him, or shot him, I should say, Valerie Stalanis, she shot him because Warhol wouldn't produce a play she had written called Up Your Ass. She was like super hardcore feminist. She wrote something called like the Scum Manifesto. Feminist doesn't even really do it justice. Like almost like a misandrist, I guess you could say. Like but anyway,
That means she hates men.
She hates dudes.
Yeah. And anyway, she shot him for not producing the play. It was so dirty that he thought it was a police sting operation. That like if he produced it, he'd get arrested because it was 1968 and you can get arrested for that type of shit back then.
Yeah, but he was also filming dudes fucking, which was illegal back then, and then other people fucking, which was
Yeah, but it wasn't-
essentially porn, but that was illegal when he was doing it.
It wasn't playing at the theater.
No, it wasn't. But what was Homegirls? She wanted this on Broadway?
Somewhere. I don't fucking know.
Oh, God, dude. Well, I understand it.
So he was in the hospital from gallbladder surgery, and then when he got out, as he was recovering, he had an irregular heartbeat and died.
Okay. All right. How old is he?
He was 58 years old.
Shit, he always looked 75. So that's a tough one for me. He always had gray hair, and he always looked 75. Well, whatever. I wanted to ask you guys about this Biden speech today here. Digital currency. It says Biden takes big step toward government-backed digital currency. The administration is throwing its support behind further study and development of what would be known as U.S. central bank digital currency. Wouldn't this nuke Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that shit?
No,
Why not?
because they have value that's intrinsic outside of our current monetary system, right? Especially Ethereum, but even Bitcoin.
I don't know, man. If this was easy, I think more people would jump on this because you would trust it versus Ethereum and Bitcoin. and all
I
that
don't.
shit.
I don't think there are a whole lot of people out there that would get involved in an investment like cryptocurrency that don't trust the process.
But if it's coming from the government and it is in U.S. dollars, I think it's easier for people to swallow.
Why?
Because take our what do we do?
Like
Was
I
it
feel
2
like
weeks ago, Giorgio?
people trust government less now than they ever have in the history of this country.
I agree, but money is a different thing for people. And Giorgio, that show we did a couple weeks ago where we signed up, we had Richard Ryan on.
Yep.
We ended up signing up trying to do the fucking RossPatterson.eth and all that other shit.
Yeah, you got it.
We got it, but it took 2 days. It took 2 days for money to go into the account. Setting that up took about 40 minutes. All of it's just too fucking long. Whereas like Apple Pay, PayPal, all that other shit is pretty instant and easy. Zelle. If you made a digital currency that was like the United States dollar, that was just a goddamn app, I think more people would use that rather than to go to Bitcoin.
I mean, they have USDC coin. They have a lot of Tether. There's a lot of digital cryptocurrencies that are always $1.
But none of it's backed by the federal government. So none of it
Right,
is
but
FDIC insured, correct?
You don't want it to be because then it's centralized. That's kind of the whole point of some of these is they're not controlled by a government ever. They can't ever take it away from you. It's a lot easier for a government to come remove your digital dollars than they are to come take it from buried in cans in your
Sure.
backyard.
But most currency in the West is already digital, right?
Which is kind of our fault, right?
I mean, it's not about it being our fault. It's just more convenient.
Right. So we should go take it, get it in cash, and put it in our backyards.
No.
I haven't had to get cash out of an ATM in almost a year, I feel like. The only thing that I've done outside of digital currency or credit cards is pay people like construction for the new studio and shit like that. But they wanted a hard check. All of them wanted hard checks still.
Well, that's just for record-keeping purposes in a business. But, yeah, the government getting involved in crypto, the only reason they're doing this is because they see that the economy is shifting towards more and more companies accepting crypto on a day-to-day basis as payment for things, or in the real estate market especially, and then you're seeing some of these cards day-to-day. The government wants to get in on that and then use your tax dollars to build the infrastructure for all of it at the federal level, and then pass a law that says you can only use our currency, right? And then they can turn your shit off whenever they want just with the fucking flip of a switch. That's what they want. It's more control.
Right. But
So-
isn't everything you're already doing digital anyways?
It is, yeah, but you saw it. So you saw it in Canada. They were just emptying people's bank accounts or freezing their assets because they gave to the trucker charity, which is, I mean, if they tried to do that here in America, there would be an armed revolt, a big armed revolt. Like, I mean, millions of people would fucking go burn these places to the ground and execute the CEOs of those companies. I promise you that. So they're going to have to do it a different way, which is to normalize this type of infrastructure, use our money to pay for it, and then fucking tighten the noose, right? You just got to do things differently in America, but you can still do it the same way. Or, no, I'm sorry, you can still do it, you just got to do it a different way.
So Biden signed an executive order which will call on the government to investigate the technical needs for digital currency and advocates for the Federal Reserve to continue its research and developments. And that's according to a fact sheet released by the White House. So it seems like they're still in the early stages. I guess, Giorgio, since you're deep into this world, my question to you is, how is this going to affect the crypto market? It hasn't moved all year, essentially.
It's been up and down quite a bit this year. It's fluctuated. I mean, if you
But
took
it's still the
Bitcoin
same.
alone,
It's been the same number. It's been right around 40 this entire year.
it's been up to 65. It's been down
Not this
under
year,
30.
though. Not this year.
Oh, 2022. I mean, we're 2
Correct.
months into it.
We're in mid-March right now.
Yeah. You're asking how this news will affect the global cryptocurrency market?
Yeah.
It won't.
Is it up or down today?
It's just announcing. It's just announcing that they're looking into starting something. I mean, I don't. And what does that really even mean when they're saying looking at digital currencies? They already have digital currencies right now anyway with the SWIFT banking system. Like all of this is already digital. Like Ross is saying, most of the things we do now are already digital. Like, are they going to implement blockchain technology into something for record keeping? Like that could be interesting, but that's again not quite the same. So like I don't know. I think the whole point of a lot of these digital cryptocurrencies is the decentralization aspect of them, and I don't think the U.S. branding something as a digital currency will change much. I mean, it may make things more efficient for us, and may make using the dollar easier, which is cool.
Sounds like Space Force. That's what it sounds like.
What, that it's cool but completely fucking unnecessary?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think it's necessary at all?
Space Force?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think we'll ever get to the point where that's necessary?
I think by the time we're colonizing space, we'll be in a global government anyways.
At the very least, Space Force is like Abraham Lincoln inventing the Air Force.
Yeah.
You know what
Did
I
he?
mean?
Well, technically, I guess Benjamin Franklin theoretically created the Air Force and paratroopers. Like he had this idea of people in balloons being dropped over combat zones and things like that. Yeah, but Abraham Lincoln wanted to actually make the Army what would become the Army Air Force and then the Air Force. Yeah.
Props to Da Vinci for the gliders that he was designing.
And
for
the
Italy.
aerial screw that eventually became the helicopter.
Yeah.
Like he invented all that shit.
No shit.
In the fucking 16th century.
VR goggles too, I think.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I think
but
he did.
did. There were some nice butt plugs in there.
Well, he also time traveled.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No.
Oh no, he
Allegedly.
actually came from a different galaxy where he's the dumbest one on their
Yeah.
planet.
Got it.
That's right.
Hey, so it says here crypto's up, dude, 8% today on this news. And they're saying that this could be a step forward and finally making crypto more acceptable.
So what I've
to
heard, yeah,
everybody
it
else.
normalizes it. It's defining it. It's saying it's a thing. It's saying that it's not going to go away. It's giving it validity. That's
I
what
just
kind of the
don't
word on
look
the
at
street
it.
is.
Just don't look at it. Just buy it and.
Well, speaking of which, because the White House did quote the actual prices of Bitcoin in this fucking call today. This is their quote. It says, began the pandemic at 7,300. This is Bitcoin. Peaked at around 68,000 before falling back down to about 39,000. A Biden administration official noted in a call with reporters. I was unaware that it dipped all the way to 7,300. That's fucking crazy.
7,300. That would have been the
That's at the start of the pandemic.
pandemic. Yeah.
Why wouldn't that have gone up?
The high at that point was 20,000 though. So like you're kind of not really.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at that high from was that 2017?
Well, I'm not. Obviously, this is a statement by the
Right.
White House, so
And
they're
I'm
they're,
just-
they're clearly trying to paint this picture of like, oh, hey, this is maybe too volatile. That's why you
I
should
mean,
have
but
U.S. digital currency.
So when everyone really got big on it, I think it was the winter of 2017, and everyone was super high on crypto when it hit that $20,000 mark. And
I'm
then
high
had
on drugs.
yeah.
Well, I'm behind both.
behind both.
And then it had a huge crash after that. Then it restabilized up until kind of the pandemic, and the pandemic caused a huge market crash and everything. But now we're back bigger than ever. Had that crash mid-year last year, and then we got back again. So I don't know. Seems good to me.
All right. Well, if the
I don't-
government's heading there,
I don't care about any of this shit, to be honest.
I do because I want to get out of paper dollars and coins and all that other shit. Like I'm done with that.
Yeah, you're gonna get out of it because you're gonna be fucking trading goods and services for other goods and services again soon because of societal collapse, which is what I'm looking forward to.
Do you genuinely think that it's going to happen?
Yes, I do. I think sometime in the next 15 to 20 years, our entire society is going to break down.
Because there's a lot of fucked up shit going on now. We'll start with this Nelk Boys thing. I talked about it the other day on another show. They had President Trump on their show on Full Send Podcast, and then they pulled it. YouTube pulled it within 24 hours, and they cited misinformation. In what world can you not have a former president of the United States on? I get if you don't agree with him or just don't like him, but fuck, man, not a lot of people like Bush. A lot of people didn't like Obama. Does that mean they shouldn't be on fucking podcasts on YouTube? Like, I really don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. The interesting thing about that is that Facebook has put out a memo saying they're temporarily allowing posts on the Ukraine war that call for violence against Russians.
Yes, I read that this morning. Is that real?
Yeah. That's on CNN. I'm reading it right now.
So, with your collapse of society and everything else, it's these little things that will keep leading up to it where people are just like, what the fuck, man? I can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I think society is going to collapse is because if the Roman Senate was doing this 2,000 years ago, they could easily get away with it provided that there wasn't too much in the misery index, which is to say there isn't too much debt out there and there isn't super high inflation. The misery index is inflation and unemployment. So there isn't a lot of inflation where your value of your work is being devalued. And then there isn't a lot of unemployment where people can't work. As long as Rome was able to keep people fucking fed and generally at work, the patrician class got away with whatever the fuck they wanted to do. As a matter of fact, rich dudes who were generals of armies just fought each other over control of the city constantly, and it didn't really change the landscape of things that much, except for that when there was poverty, people got really fucking pissed, and there were riots and shit. Now, people have access to all this information. Everybody knows who Klaus Schwab is. If there was a mastermind, if it was Cicero, trying to start all this bullshit in the Roman Senate to embolden the Senate, keep the plebs out and blah, 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 and even try to, get fucking Julius Caesar murdered, he could do that behind closed doors and nobody would really ever really know about it except for other people in the aristocracy. Now everybody knows about these people. And now they're starting to discover that major world leaders like Macron and fucking Trudeau and Biden and all these people are fucking part and parcel to this World Economic Forum nonsense. And the next stages are going to come in the form of those bad actors in the aristocratic class trying to do more to globalize and to constrict freedom of movement and finance. And people are going to react to that. And it's going to get rough. Like it's going to be all-out war. Not once in the history of humanity have people tried to do what these people are trying to do right now, and there haven't been consequences for it. And I just don't see... It doesn't seem like the kind of situation because it's so deeply rooted into every level of society. All of our infrastructure, both physical infrastructure and political infrastructure, it's so deeply rooted into all of it. I don't see it being a situation where it gets replaced with a new government. It seems like total societal breakdown to me, which is, I mean, again, dope for me.
Sure.
And Coop and I were talking about it on American Party when we recorded earlier. I think it's actually a good thing to reset. Not the great reset that they referred to, but I think it's a good thing for us to, instead of continuing to build on what has become an increasingly tenuous and unstable fucking foundation, to just tear down and build a new building. You can only do so many renovations to Fenway before you got to rebuild that bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we're at the point now in Western civilization, we think it's young because it's young in years, but the processing power of society is so much higher now than it was before. Things move much faster. I think it's time for people to go back into fucking small communities that turn into fucking civilizations that turn into nation states. That's what I think.
I think it could happen in the next 20 to 30 years, or potentially after I'm gone. I don't think anytime soon in the next 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, everybody thinks that because you're generally hopeful. So the average person with
it's not that I'm hopeful. I can tell you exactly what it is. I think most of the people, I would say 75 to 80%, will just take whatever the government tells them to do and then just kind of go away.
Maybe, but 25% of people with guns is a lot of people.
I agree.
So, I don't see.
I think 75 to 80% just don't want to be bothered throughout the day, where they're like, all right, if I can just get through this job, whatever that job is, and get home to my wife and kids, or if I can just get through today's work and go party with my friends, or do some fucking key bumps, or have a couple drinks, and then not forget about the shit that I'm actually doing.
Forget about Dre.
Yeah. You never forget about Dre.
Yeah.
You never forget about Dre. That's just my personal opinion, and I think it'll take just a little bit longer than 8 to 10 years. I'll say 20 to 30.
Maybe. The reason I don't think it's going to take that long is because the architects of all this bullshit, Klaus Schwab, the CEO of Salesforce, and a bunch of these other people that are deeply involved in this shit, they're aging out. Like, they're going to die soon. And I don't think they have time to wait to do this anymore. Especially Klaus Schwab and fucking
How old is he?
Soros. They're both in their 80s.
Okay.
Or actually, Soros is in his 90s. I think he's in the 90s.
He's old
now.
as shit.
Those two guys. Now, Soros is in a little bit better of a position, maybe from his perspective, because he's got his son, Alex, I think his name is, running shit. But Schwab, I don't think, is in that position, and he's the main guy he's the linchpin that holds all this shit together. So I think he's probably, a lot of people have actually theorized that they think Putin has some kind of terminal disease. That's why he's making such aggressive moves right now. I think that's the same with Schwab.
Wow, that's a fucking hot take that I've never heard. What's the disease? Cancer or something?
There's some intel that I've heard from legit sources, but it's not double-blind verified and like the way we do intel. But there is some intel that he has prostate cancer right now.
Okay.
That's why his face is all puffy and shit from the steroids that you take.
Yeah.
It's one guess. Who knows? But I mean, it's the strategy, the stuff he's doing right now and the way he's doing it is no different than exactly what he did in fucking Georgia and Crimea over the last 20 or 15 years or so. So.
Yeah, that's strange. I've never heard that. But I did hear a theory about the oligarchs that, if they were pissed off enough and they lost enough money in this, that they could possibly take him out. Have you heard that?
Maybe because Russia is not a rich country. Like Vladimir Putin's a rich man, but Russia is not a rich country. They're like, what, 27th or something?
Yeah, they're low. But they've got a bunch of rich Russian oligarchs, and they're saying it would be easy for a couple of those guys to get together and put a bounty on his head and get him out of there.
Maybe, yeah. I can see that. Bob, what do you got?
Sorry, I was looking up GDPs.
Yeah, I'm seeing something on the Daily Mail from February, though, saying Putin underwent surgery for cancer.
Really? Oh, shit.
I mean, take
And
it
then
for
he
what it
has
is.
Parkinson's disease.
And then he has Parkinson's. It's the Daily Mail, so.
Daily Mail, dude, is surprising. Have you ever noticed whenever an American tragedy happens, they've got all the fucking info and pictures first? It's wild. And they've been doing it for like 20 years. I don't know how. I don't know who the fuck they have on the inside. They're the TMZ of like the news, the world news. I trust the Daily Mail more than I trust the fucking New York Times. No lie.
The Daily Fail.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
How much do you trust the White House and tech people on TikTok? Because that's going on now.
So is that real?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the audience this story.
So Thursday afternoon, 30 top TikTok stars gathered on a Zoom call to receive key information about the war unfolding in Ukraine from Jen Psaki.
And
So-
what was the basis of the call exactly?
What do you mean the basis? Like what's
what,
the purpose?
Yeah. What was the fucking, hey guys, we really needed to gather you together to do this against...
Well, what they say is to stop the spread of dangerous misinformation and Russian propaganda.
Oh, by creating our own propaganda?
Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
And using people who do TikTok dances to put it out there. No, what they want.
Stop.
What they
Ukraine. Stop. Ukraine.
They're trying to leverage the personality, but more so their audience. Like you've seen how crazy Taylor Swift's people are.
Yeah.
The cunts, I think they're called, that follow her. Lunatics.
I didn't say that, Swifties. They're called Swifties, and I didn't say it. I love Taylor Swift, and I don't want any of you guys coming after me.
I like her music, but I'm not. Fuck those people.
I love them. I love every single one of them. I'm a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie head. I've always been Swift.
I hope you get fucking mouth cancer. Fuck you. Anyways, not Taylor Swift. She's awesome. But anyways, you don't like. It's one thing to leverage one of these people, but to get their fucking crazy audiences to be out in public, shutting down misinformation, which is to say parroting the government's propaganda, is cheaper than like hiring a fucking Bangladesh click farm to do it for you. I mean, there's bots all over Twitter. You could see it on Twitter.
Oh, dude, it's endless.
Yeah,
the bots on Twitter are endless.
People do it all the time. Like I'll every now and again I'll do it just if I notice if I'm reading a long thread. If it's something that's super controversial, you'll see literally the exact same copy and paste from different accounts with like 25 followers over and over and over. Different accounts over and over and over again. It is incredible.
They could stop it if they wanted to. That's what fucks with me.
Yeah, 100%. You could stop. All you would need to do is have your database do constant SQL queries for the character strings over a certain amount, like 20 characters in a row that are identical, and then you put them into a thing put them into load them into a fucking little list, and you just have your people go down the list and see, is this people copying and pasting like a quote from somebody that was interesting and they're publishing it, or are they publishing a fucking unquoted thing that's just the same propaganda over and over? Yeah, they could easily stop that shit, but they will never do that because that's not how that works.
That's wild, man.
Like they're doing it on purpose.
Why not just shut it all down? Because if you wanted to, you could go in there and all these social media apps and just shut down any information from Russia coming over here or being disseminated in the West if you wanted to, right? Because you know exactly where these users are. There's like, you could shut that all down. And that was my same gripe with the election when people were bitching about it in 2016. When they were like, oh, it's Russia. And it was like, well, and it turned out Facebook had run ads from Russia. And it was like, you guys knew where the fuck that came from.
Yeah.
The TikTok thing probably goes pretty beyond that because there's a large... So, like, the overlap of people that are... Like, they're not the same as, like, Dan being like, don't forget that Zelensky's corrupt as fuck or something like that. A lot of it is like American socialist types that are like tankies, basically, that are on TikTok, like literally spouting like Russian lies. And I think they're trying to combat because there's like a void of any other information on TikTok, essentially.
What is a Chinese-owned platform?
Yeah. But I think it's organic, though. It's not like these people are hired to do it. I mean, there are probably some propagandists on there, but a lot of it really is just like idiot 20-year-olds that are like, here's why I love Russia.
Yeah, or it's the alternative to that is your fucking 55-year-old aunt who's done no research.
Right.
She knows how to click retweet, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that out there. And but that's the thing. Fucked up dystopian nonsense like this always comes from a good place. Like, oh, this is a big problem. We need to fix this. Like, maybe, right? It's a big problem, and maybe you need to fix it, right? Maybe. So, like, gun control. It is the net value of danger increases when a gun's around. There's like, literally... You'll never find any data to suggest that is not the case. Now, it's a great deterrent. There's no question about that as well. But introducing a gun into any scenario intrinsically makes that scenario more dangerous. Is that a problem that we need to solve? I would say the answer is no, right? But then you add some compounding factors. Guns in this location or under this circumstances. Should we do it then, right? The algorithm changes a little bit. I have to consider it more. But you don't just consider the problem you're solving. You consider the second and third order effects of that problem. And if any of the effects are that the government now has more control over me, then fuck you. That's not happening. You know what I mean? We see the results of that. And it's in Canada right now where if you gave $50 to the fucking trucker convoy because you agree that there shouldn't be federally mandated fucking vaccinations, now they can freeze your fucking entire life savings? Like, fuck that. Somebody's got to die for that bullshit.
I don't see anything happening in Canada, though, which goes back to my point of, like, I think 75 to 80% of people are just like, okay.
It's not that.
Well, it happened.
Canada disarmed itself quite a while ago, as did Australia. Canada has, like, some shotguns and hunting rifles and shit like that, but it's not like America where there's a couple of guns per person. And
or just laying on the table.
And with people who have both the will and training to put that weapon into operation in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
It's very different here.
I know how to put a bed together in a meaningful way. Nailed it. Nailed it. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros is our first sponsor. They're a title sponsor on the show. 40% off the bundle package. That is the adjustable base and the mattress sandwiched together for an exciting time of romance. Yeah, damn it. That was nice. I like that. I like the way that came out of my mouth. If you want 30% off everything in the entire store, like maybe just a pillow, or the mattress itself, or just the adjustable base, or the sheets, or that goddamn weighted blanket. People are sleeping for like 18 hours underneath that weighted blanket. I haven't gotten it yet. But I heard the sleep is incredible and you just never wake up. I got kids, so I can't do shit like that. But if you're out there and you're like, hey man, I'm single and want to fucking hibernate for like 48 hours after getting fucked up or going on an acid bender, congratulations. Go and get the goddamn weighted blanket. If you're getting weird sexually, putting stuff in your butt, a lot of grease. But need to put a cover on that bed, okay? They got those as well.
I would get some comprehensive butt insurance.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Is it Geico?
Yeah, Ghostbed doesn't sell that.
No, I think it's Geico. I think it's the lizard. I think you can actually put a whole lizard up there. I don't know if Richard Gere did that too, but either way, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros will give you the finest mattress set in the land. All you have to do is go to the sites and then fill up your cart, and then afterwards it's a 60-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest there if you have decent credit. And all these deals work with that, so you can walk out of there with a brand new bedroom set for $20 to $25 a month at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, we got drinkinbros.com/store. D'Anthony, what do we got in the store? Brother.
Oh, boy, we got a bunch of stuff. We've got a bunch of new black-on-black items.
Oh, yeah, dude. So I just saw those.
Yeah.
You know, we're usually wrapped up in meetings and all that stuff. I actually saw it on an ad on Facebook.
Yeah, so if you want to put that up on the screen.
Yeah, put that hoodie up there.
There's
dope,
this
dude.
black on black. There's also go to Shop All back there because you're gonna want to see the hats as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
Get some black on black hats too.
yeah. Well, go back.
Pornhub logos. You got the defund politicians.
So this is the Flex Fit, the one on the top left there.
Oh shit.
And the APAC hat on the
Yeah.
top right. Those are Flex Fit hats with black on black stuff on them. People have been requesting those. There's one with defund politicians on as well, so we made that.
Awesome.
There's a new shirt. It says Mandate Freedom. It's made out of guns.
Yeah.
The words are made out of guns, or the letters, rather, made out of guns. And if we still have the 13 of them shirt for sale. We're going to...
And all the proceeds of that go to charity.
Yeah, we're going to wrap that up soon. Those proceeds go to Save Our Allies. The Pork of the Sea shirt's back. We've got the candles.
Oh, yeah, dude. The candles are fucking amazing, dude. I just ordered some.
Yeah.
It was a 4-pack. I ordered a 4-pack.
Well, you can buy them individually as well, but you can get all of them in a 4-pack.
Yeah, I want them on the desk, dude. BroBox is here too, man. BroBox is on the way to my house as we speak. Oh, put the candles up there.
That's
yeah, there
me.
we go.
So it says Dan, the patron saint of not giving a fuck, I believe.
Yeah.
And then yours says technology just isn't there.
It really isn't, though.
It's Moses.
It really isn't. Couldn't get this fucking iPhone to work today.
Obviously, Lord Hot Dog.
Yeah. Big fan. Big fan. Go to drinkinbros.com/store. Last up, we got hardafseltzer.com. Let's fucking go. The seltzer is out into the world, shipping to 42 states. It's been fun watching people over the last few days open up their boxes and drinking it and getting rocked. Mm-hmm. What I love is there's like a lot of people, it's been showing up at like 9, 10 in the morning, and they're already drinking it. When you're starting off with 8% at 9 to 10 a.m., it's going to be a short day and a long nap that afternoon. But I'm proud of people, and we're seeing all the orders come in, and it's rad. Thanks for tagging us, and it's been fun so far. Let us know what your favorite flavors are. Go to hardafseltzer.com, and if you're in Tennessee, Texas, or Florida, and you want it at your bar, restaurant, hotel, well, say you work at a fucking Costco, we don't give a shit. Just go to info@hardafseltzer.com and then submit there, and we'll try to accommodate your order to your bar and restaurant. Tennessee, Florida, and Texas are first, and then we'll fan out across the United States. I believe Pennsylvania and New Jersey are next. So working on that, working on investor meetings and all that shit. Fun times ahead indeed, but thanks for ordering. We really sincerely appreciate it. D'Anthony, Jussie Smollett finally got convicted. I feel like we cock-teased the audience on fake news.
Yeah.
And we never got to go to the verdict. What happened is they had spent like fucking 20 hours on this goddamn trial yesterday for no reason other than just grandstanding and there's a camera in the courtroom and everybody's watching this. Even the judge made a fucking meal of his thing. Did you see him going off?
Yeah. Oh man. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
The judge
Get it together, D'Anthony.
The judge lit his ass up. It was really funny.
It was awesome. He called him a narcissist.
Yeah, but that outburst is from Jussie was it's like that. I guess the last attempt. Like maybe there's a couple of people who will believe me if I say it like this, and those will be my fans now. Those people who believe me, those 6 people who believe me.
He still said he was innocent. He still proclaimed, "I'm innocent," leaving the courtroom, and this is 400 years of putting your thumb on
here's what
the
he
black
said.
man. I mean, it was
No, he's
in the LGBT community.
The way he said it was worse. Hold on, let me find it right quick. I also will you go to my Twitter, please? Because I want people to see this meme I made. I think it's really funny. What Jussie Smollett said was, if I did this, that means that I stuck my fist in the fears of black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ. Like, yeah, dude, that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Maybe he should write a book called If I Did It. Yeah, put this meme up on screen. I don't know if you remember the scene from The Office where he's telling him about jail.
Oh, yeah. Well,
just for clarity, the character in The Office that he's speaking to is a gay man.
Yeah.
So Jussie's going to love jail.
He should.
Because he's going to get just...
he got 150 days.
I hate expositional dialogue, but it's because he wants to get fucked up the ass.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want anybody to be confused.
Show not tell. We call that in the biz. Show not tell, but you told. He's getting 150 days. He's getting 3 years probation. He got a $120,000 fine and then a $25,000 some other fucking fine that he's got to do, and then 200 hours community service. But the entire speech by the judge, it seemed like he wanted some sweet camera time. It seemed like Jussie wanted some sweet camera time.
He's auditioning for his next role.
That's what it felt like.
As what in the school play in jail, I guess. I don't fucking know what he's gonna do. Nobody's ever gonna hire that dude again.
And what was the thing with I'm not suicidal? I want everybody to know I'm not suicidal if I get killed in jail. Or if I get killed, it's because somebody killed me in jail. I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, I mean, the time for him to have shared any, like, private information he may have had to get himself out of trouble has passed. You could have done that already.
I think he's just profoundly a stupid person.
Oh, yeah.
No. What connection does he have to the Clintons?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Makes you
everybody
wonder.
thinks that, but I think he may just be like Oz from American Pie, Chris,
Yeah.
whatever his name
yeah.
is.
Chris Klein.
Chris Klein, yeah. Like, you could tell that he's just fucking dumb.
Yeah,
like
like-
his tongue's too big for his fucking head. Kind of dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, and nothing he said, like, it's just, fuck. And it's a dumb person trying to sound smart. It's like someone who used, like, this, like, synonym, like, looked up too many synonyms in an email type of thing.
Like Mike Tyson, you mean? Not that I don't want Mike Tyson coming after me.
Obviously.
I'm not afraid of the Swifties, but I don't want to kill Mike Tyson. He's a national treasure.
Sure.
Even though he is a convicted rapist.
Yeah, he's a convicted rapist.
We've
but-
really remade his image, haven't we?
Well, America has, you know. Yeah, Juicie's going away for a while, and I'm happy to see it because everybody had predicted that he would get no time whatsoever. And just be, slap on the dong, and then he'd be on with his life.
That's what he got was a slap on the dong, though.
Well, he got 150 days. That's not bad.
That's not enough to count as a fucking felony, though.
But if you,
No, he's a convicted
I
felon.
know he's a convicted
felon
felon now, but not like another one, yeah.
but if you really look at it, a guy like that who's coming off of, I mean, he thought he was king shit coming off the show and everything else, and now you're probably lost all your money in legal fees.
Yeah. If you've run a business before, you probably had an employee like this guy.
Oh yeah,
Like he did a little bit of work and it's like, well, I don't understand why I'm not the president of the company yet, man. Fuck these people. I'm staging a hate crime.
What's his pod gonna think of him when he gets in there?
His pod?
that's
Yeah.
a great question.
What do you mean? What's a
Well,
The
it's a
cellmates.
group. It's a group.
Yeah,
it's
a
normally
group.
there's like a 10 to 20 cells with 2 beds in each.
Yep.
And then they have like a little communal area where you can watch TV and play dominoes.
I was just thinking that last night. I was like, what the fuck are they going to think of him? And then knowing that he's gay already going in, because everybody knows he's gay, does that help you or hurt you? And because he's a pretty little man.
I think that's like down low sex, like prison gay sex. If the other dude is actually gay, I think that actually makes it gay. I think he might be all right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't
no
want to get
one's gonna
caught.
fuck with him because then they'd be
Yeah,
gay for fucking a gay
you don't want a
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
actual gay dude.
Also,
Yeah.
though, like he's doing time in the Cook County Jail, right? Like he's not going to prison.
Yeah, but Cook County Jail is worse than
Dude,
most
it's-
Oh, I
It's
understand,
fucking
and I
awful.
understand it's Cook County and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But like, I feel like a lot of the terms when you're in a county jail aren't really long enough to merit
Yeah.
the
Like
things
an-
you must resort
It's
to.
not
and-
Pelican Bay, you
Right.
know?
Well, look, Valentine's Day is gone.
It is,
That's
yeah.
over.
Yep.
I mean, there's no other relationship holidays coming up in the time he's going to be serving his sentence.
Spring just puts everyone in the mood, I guess.
It does, yeah. Spring springs. I don't know. I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll be fine. Just a word of advice, Juicy. Attack and murder the first person you come across.
Yeah.
In jail.
Show dominance.
Yeah.
Unless you
Otherwise-
don't want to.
I don't know if he's a
what's the
top.
downside
I don't
of
know
it?
if he's a top or a bottom.
That's the other question I was asking last
Or
night.
a
I was like,
fucking-
dude, if he's a top,
He could be
It's
versatile.
going to be a problem.
He could be versatile too. Gen Zers are like, they're into whatever now.
Yeah, but he's not Gen Z. I want to say he's like 38. right?
No,
He's
not.
a millennial.
Is he that old?
He was in the Mighty Ducks, bro.
Yeah, pull up Juicy. I think he's 38. That's my guess. That's my guess here. 37 or 38. That's where I'm going to land. with this
39.
one. Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, dude. So yeah. Yeah.
He's almost a
He's
bear
got a
now.
preference. Yeah, he's got a fucking preference, dude. He's not. If he's a bottom, congratulations. It's gonna be a blast in jail. Like that'll be a fucking blast.
Well, it's just like that meme.
Yeah.
You're gonna love jail.
Then you can dictate your own terms.
Honestly, still only the second worst outcome for a Mighty Ducks cast member.
No, that dude made a comeback though. Right?
Yeah, Goldberg's fine.
Goldberg's back.
He's, I guess.
He's not back. Pull up a picture of him, Bob.
No, there's a side by side of him looking better now.
No, I like this one.
No,
This
that
is
one.
the
Use
one.
that one first. Yep. I
is the one.
agree with Delco. Use that one first. That's a little too
There he
wide. There
is.
you go. Ooh. Eesh.
Not great.
Look, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Also, he might not be the only one even on meth. Look at fucking
I was there
Banks.
3 months ago.
That's Banks?
Look at Banks.
Holy
no.
shit.
I'm still there.
What happened to half this cast?
I mean, he looks the same to me.
No.
Yeah.
He looks like he has AIDS.
Nah.
Looked like me fucking 2 months ago.
He looks like a zombie. Like that, the eyes are sunken.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only person that really had a glow up after this is probably Keenan.
Yeah.
Thompson?
Yeah.
He's always looked the same his entire life, I feel like.
And he's in the sequel, you know. It's
Well, he's
not OG cast.
There's 2 of them. He's in 2 and 3.
Yeah. But he's not OG cast.
Yeah,
Speaking
but
of shitty,
Knucklepuck.
speaking of shitty old movies, we went to see The Batman.
Oh,
last
great.
night.
There you go. How was it?
It was the worst movie I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. You guys were
I
like,
thought-
oh, you're fucking old. No, dude. It has nothing to do with age.
I thought that what's his name, Robert
Pattinson. Yeah.
I thought he was actually really good as Batman.
So do I.
Like his acting was
Exactly what I said on Ross Patterson Revolution.
top notch.
Yes.
And I actually thought most of the acting was pretty good.
Yes.
But the fucking storyline is retarded. And so what makes a great Batman movie? Back in the day, it was the campiness and bullshit, and they tried to add some of that. Mm-hmm. But really, it's the gadgets and fight scenes, right? That's what really, the gadgets and the fight scene and the internal struggle of Batman to overcome his childhood, to reinsert himself into society, and also to overcome the idea that he wants to effect change against these violent criminals without actually killing somebody. That's a big story arc in every fucking Batman, especially all the modern ones. Now, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. Go see it and make your own judgment, but there are a number of fight scenes and there's some good brutal exchanges, but he's fighting red shirts, like from Star Trek, like the people that die first. He's fighting henchmen, but none of the main characters, none of the main antagonists can fight.
Right.
So he doesn't get into fights with any of them. It's stupid. It's not like he's in a fist fight with the Joker or some shit like that.
Or the Riddler.
Or
Nothing.
whatever. Like that never happens in the entire fucking movie. He never actually fights any of the villains.
Does that really happen in the comics, though? Because I feel like even in the video games, Arkham Asylum, which I think the movie's supposed to kind of be based off of, he doesn't really fight the villains that much. It's usually henchmen.
Well, I'm talking about the more modern movies like Ra's al Ghul and fucking the Joker and Bane.
I'm saying the Nolan Batmans, he only fights probably 50% of the villains, but it's a lot more than
Who are
zero.
the other villains?
Like he
So
for
he doesn't
sure
fight-
fights Bane, but like he doesn't really fight the Joker that much.
Yeah, they get into it like a little bit at the end, and then like he doesn't really fight Scarecrow. Like he gets blasted in the face by Scarecrow.
Yeah, but Scarecrow was a minor character.
He was the B
Right.
villain in the first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Cillian Murphy.
He fights the Joker a lot.
No.
Not
No,
really.
he roughs him up in the fucking interrogation room, and then
Yeah.
they get into that fight on the street, and then he saves him.
And then he drives the truck at him, and the Joker shoots him, and he flips it.
Yeah.
So, quick around the horn here. Since we've seen 80 iterations of Batman, is the campy versions better
No.
than the dramatic
The
ones?
Christopher Nolan versions are the best movies that were made.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by a wide fucking margin because of the gadgets in the fight scenes, and the storyline was good.
And Michael Caine.
Michael
Michael Caine's good. I didn't mind the guy that played Alfred here.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Fuck him.
He's good.
He's all right.
He's good. He's played so many villains though now that it's almost hard to imagine him as Alfred. But
He's better in a monkey costume. I like him in monkey costumes.
yeah,
Well, not even a costume. It's a green suit,
Green screen.
right?
Yeah,
Actually,
I like him
yeah.
I like him with ping pong balls all over his body.
People don't realize this. This was actually a motion capture performance. They just digitally put Andy Serkis over Andy Serkis's body.
I'll tell the conflict that the Batman character in this movie had with his dad was pretty interesting. That was a new angle that I thought was good, but they tried to cram way too much into this first film. Like, it's obvious that they're planning a 3 or 4 film fucking arc here.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they crammed so much exposition into the first one. It made it seem, one, it made it long as fuck.
It's 3 hours.
And two, it felt like multiple movies that I saw, right? But then you don't get a conclusion to the first movie. It just carries over into the second one, which is not very satisfying as a customer. But it did make me think of a cool potential reboot of Batman, where instead of the Batman that we know, who is his parents get murdered for whatever reason, usually, especially the latter versions of canon and film, have them as like social justice activists, and the good kind, not the kind that you see now, right? People that are actually trying to benefit society and shit. I would like to see a Batman who his parents weren't great people. Like, they were abusive or something like that, and he had murdered them, but then deluded himself into thinking all of this stuff. Like, all of this stuff that we know of as the Batman and the fucking character development and how he became what he is all inside of his own head, but he's actually a piece of shit that's just out of the street beating up fucking mentally ill people.
Yeah.
Which is what he's doing. He just thinks he's doing it for a good cause.
Sure.
I like DC likes dark shit. They should do something like that. I think that's probably why they tried to...
Shoot the whole thing in the dark?
No, I think it's why they tried to introduce the part about his dad being somewhat on the take, I guess, into this one. Because everybody on the Batman side was always too perfect.
So I'm with you as far as the Christopher Nolan movies were the best, and now we're just kind of seeing other people try to live up to that shit. And to me, it's just kind of meh. I don't really care. If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't see any of this shit.
I think if Christopher Nolan had come back and done this version and Robert Pattinson had played the Batman, I think it would have been a fucking great movie.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
think. Yeah. Who was the director? Do you know? Was it Matt Reeves?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why Andy Serkis was in it.
Yeah.
Because that guy directed all the recent Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. When he was a monkey, he played the monkey in that. You know that, right?
I think he played all the monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the monkey, and then they just kind of regenerated it like 80 different times. Good for Andy Serkis and all that shit. I just don't really give a fuck about. Michael Caine's still the best butler of all time.
Yeah, I think Matt Reeves is a fucking hump. To be honest, like the first Planet of the Apes movie with James Franco was good. But once they got into the fucking the monkey civilization and shit, like get the fuck. I mean,
Not a big Cloverfield guy.
No, Cloverfield is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I like the first one.
And now the Batman is I think the if you take into account the cast and how good their acting was, not just like the talent pool itself, but then how well they executed their roles. Because Colin Farrell's Penguin was fucking great.
Yeah.
He was
and
really
they're turning
good.
that into an HBO series, by the way. 10 parts.
That's why, because it was fucking great. Like, that was great. Just the talent pool you had. John Turturro as fucking Carmine Falcone.
He was great.
He was great. That talent pool is amazing. And to get that product out of it, after spending that amount of money with that talent pool and their execution, I think this might be one of the worst movies. I think this might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Well, look, it made 120 million opening weekends, so clearly no one cared.
No, people care. They're trashing it online. I think it's become that might be part of the marketing strategy now. If you make a movie with enough people in it, if you spend enough to get the people in it, spend enough to make it, to buy the rights to the DC shit and all that stuff, even if it sucks, at least they'll be out there talking about how bad it sucks that people go watch it for that reason.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, when I say nobody cares, like, Hollywood doesn't give a shit. All they care about is the money. So the money came in, and it did fine, and then they can correct it on the next go-round.
I don't see this one being super big in fucking the Asian market, though. Like, the action scenes and the gadgets just aren't there.
Well, like the car, for example.
The car was dope, but it's American muscle.
But it was so pitch black.
dark,
I wanted to see the details
Yeah.
of the car, the details of the fucking motorcycle, all that shit, and it's just it was shot in the dark. Look, we keep the studio open for people to come in, and then when they're here, they get to come on as Drinkin' Bros of the week. Come on up. Come on in. Yeah, it's all you. You can come on over. There you go. Yeah. You can sit in D'Anthony's chair there. How far did you travel in from?
I traveled from Valdosta, Georgia.
Valdosta, Georgia. No way.
Yes.
So I'm from Georgia. Dan's from South Carolina. Put your face maybe like an inch from the mic. There you go. Boom.
All right.
Boom. Tell everybody your government name. Let's hear first, middle, and last, and then social, and address, and then obviously birthday.
Pass. Pass.
What's your name?
Alicia.
Alicia.
Yes.
Are you in the chat
Yes.
on YouTube? What's
Yes,
your
actually,
username?
It's my name.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Oh,
Alicia.
shit, dude. I see you all the fucking time. I only know people by their usernames. Until they come in, we never get to see what they look like.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome. So, Valdosta, Georgia, did you grow up there?
No, my husband's military, so
Okay.
we just kind of happened to move there. Before that, we were in Japan, so
Do you have kids?
we have two. We have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Are they going to Valdosta and Valdosta High School and all that stuff?
Middle school.
Middle
and
school.
Elementary school.
They play football?
No.
Valdosta's fucking football team is
Yeah, they're incredible.
Incredible.
Even the
best in the state.
and the university is amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Valdosta State.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I grew up there as a kid. Went through K through 12 there, and dude, Valdosta. Nobody could beat Valdosta like that. They were always state champions.
Wow. Yeah, I've only lived there for 5 years, so I was only recently aware of how impressive their football team is. So.
That's awesome. How long have you been listening to the show?
Pretty much since the beginning, almost. I've kind of been a part of the Drinkin' Bros since 2015, 15.
Awesome. Shit, right when we started.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you for being here. What'd you think of the seltzer? What kind did you have?
I had the peach. It was really good. It's
crazy, right?
Yeah, it was. I kind of feel the buzz a little bit. I was like, wow, impressive. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So the rules are this. When you come to the studio, you get to give out your own Drinkin' Bro of the Week or Broette. Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
You know, I would have to do it to my kids. I mean, my kids are my inspiration. You know, they are the reason I'm keeping on. They're not the whole reason, but, you know, they definitely push me to be the person I am today. You
Sure.
know? So, you know, they kind of pushed me to go back to school. So.
Oh, really?
Right, yes. No.
Are you in school right now?
Yes, I go to VSU, Valdosta State University. I'm a double major, physics and astronomy.
Holy shit.
And it's been a tough 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I graduate this semester, but you know, I kept telling my kids, I was like, you know, you can't get anywhere. You gotta go to school. You can't keep complaining.
Yeah.
And eventually, they just, you know, I felt like a hypocrite, and I don't like being a hypocrite. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school too. And so I started off as a political in politics, and then I
Like a consultant?
Yeah, I started in politics at VSU, and I just didn't really enjoy it. I realized I don't like politics, and then I did.
No one does. Once you get into it and you see what it's really like, it's fucking shitty.
Yeah,
And you get to see the dark side of it, and it's worse in like small town communities.
It's, you know, the more I hear about it, the more I steer away from it. And then I got into the sciences, and I was like, you know what? I actually enjoy this way more than I thought it was going to be. And it's, you know, I'm secluded. I'm by myself. I mean, I'm not entirely secluded, but I enjoy it. I'm having fun. I get to just go outside and do my observations, do, you know, my scientific stuff that I got to do every day. And
That's awesome. What are you hoping to do with those two degrees?
well, I'm trying to get into aerospace engineering.
Okay.
So I would like to eventually work on propulsion engines. I love space. I love all things aircraft. So
Texas is the place to do it. SpaceX and all that shit is here.
that's the goal. SpaceX.
Is it really?
I would love to work with SpaceX.
That's awesome. They're here.
SpaceX, NASA. I would like to work for any of these companies, but you know, if I have to start from the bottom, I would, you know, I'll start anywhere. So I was trying to get my foot in the door at the moment. So.
Awesome.
But yeah, my kids, yeah, they're amazing. They're the reason. You know, they're the reasons I'm not a hypocrite.
Well, we appreciate you being here and traveling out and stopping in to see us.
Of course.
Keep the single on her. She's better looking than me. Let's end the show with that. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.
Good night.